Some things in this life we can appreciate 1,000 times over. But one thing that we only ever really appreciate in hindsight is our childhood.
We never realized how simple times were, how soft on us life was. Personally, me and my sister Amy had a great childhood, but even then, as adults, it's easy to forget that.
Sometimes though, things get hard, too hard, and we lose sight of that kid that we used to be. And that is where today's story really begins.
This is Bluey, a show that for the longest time I've been told to just give it a watch, that even though it's a kid's show, it's incredibly enjoyable as an adult.
But anytime I saw my girlfriend watching it, I just shrugged it off.
It's just a silly show about a family of dogs, right? This chapter of the video is called Bluey. Bluey is a children's animated series from Australia and has quickly become one of the most acclaimed kids shows of this century. I know that people who have never seen this show are looking at this and thinking, okay, it's just a kids show, bright and vibrant color palette, playful characters, simple, heartfelt storylines with a message for kids, right? According to the checklist, everything's here. And I thought so too.
You see, for 2 years of my life, I was a dad. And I had my fair share of sitting through shows like Peppa Pig and Bing and just shows of that nature.
You know, shows that do have a message but are little more than what they are on the surface. But dig a little deeper and you'll see that Bluey is a masterpiece that transcends age, offering subtle and profound insights into family, life, and something we often forget all about: the human experience. So why is Bluey such a good show, not just for kids, but for adults as well? Well, if I do my job right, by the end of this video, you will want to find out for yourself. This chapter of the video is called Mums and Dads. At its core, Bluey is about the Healer family. Bluey, a 6-year-old blue healer pup, a younger sister Bingo, and their parents, Bandit and Chili. Bluey's playing and adventures are central to the show, but so is the dynamic between Bluey, Bingo, and their parents. And that is what gives us our first little crumb for the adults. Bandit and Chili are role models for the kids of the show, but for us as adults, they show us what parents can be without setting up unreal expectations.
Does this mean I failed mum's school?
We all fail mum's school sometimes. We can just start again tomorrow.
Thanks, Mum.
Bandit and Chili are thoughtful and loving parents, but they are also flawed and tired. Like all of us. They struggle with the demands of parenting, juggling work-life balance, and maintaining a healthy relationship with each other.
I need 20 minutes when no one comes near me.
Sometimes you play a bit too rough with me.
I think I just forget that you're a bit younger than your sister. Is this rough okay? Boing.
Yes, that's okay.
Boing. Okay, too rough. Now I know.
The moments in the show that show Bandit and Chili are not only parents, but lovers, are some of the most touching moments for us as adults.
Has the romance started yet?
Very soon, my darling. What's your name again?
Oh, super smooth.
These moments aren't shown to us in these typical kid-like ways, like other shows, which will remain nameless. But instead, there's an emphasis on for real life. These realistic, relatable portrayals of modern parenthood is only one of the things that makes Bluey so special to an adult.
I am not Dad. I am Magic Claw. Magic Claw has no children. His days are free and easy.
That and the sea of proactive parenting in this show, like, oh my god, stop sitting your kids in front of iPads and TVs. Has Bob Bilby taught you nothing? Relationship dynamics across the board in Bluey are shown with so much depth and maturity that comparing them to other shows that shall remain nameless is like comparing fine art to this. I mean, someone probably finds this appealing.
Are these all your children? You must have learned a thing or two.
I have. And there's something you need to know. You're doing great.
These moments are beautiful and would likely sail over a kid's head, but these moments are for us. A moment a child can appreciate in hindsight.
Happy tears, honey.
Burnout, exhaustion, the occasional loss of patience are all put on display to humanize these parental figures. However, it also highlights the importance of love, communication, and understanding.
In a world where parenting can often feel very overwhelming, Bluey offers an honest and realistic portrayal of modern parenting. And even if you're not a parent, every single episode just feels like a warm hug. And speaking of that feeling,
this chapter of the video is called Feeling. There's so many elements that come together to create the warm embrace that is Bluey, but one of the more obvious standout parts of that is the humor. I just nearly fell over there. It's smart, clever, often layered, appealing to both children and adults. It's not just kids laughing at things that aren't even funny, like other shows. Bluey uses physical comedy, witty dialogue, clever wordplay, which of course will go over the heads of younger viewers, but these are the moments that we older folk get our kicks from.
like the sex jokes.
Are you ready, Bob? Woo!
Because the photo is meant to be his cop. The adult humor is never mean-spirited, but instead highlights the quirks and absurdities of adult life that maybe we forget to laugh about.
I've got bum worms.
We've all been there, haven't we?
Wherever the laughs come from whether it's an awkward question,
Dad,
Yeah.
how does the baby get in the lady's belly?
or a funny background gag, Bluey packs a lot of laughs into its runtime, which is an impressive 8-ish minutes, by the way. But giving us a laugh isn't the only emotion that this show excels in. Another thing that makes Bluey resonate so deeply with people is how it handles emotional complexity. Because whether we would like to admit it or not, life is a complicated and confusing mess. Bluey doesn't shy away from that. Instead, it embraces it to explore it, unlike some other shows that will remain nameless. What did I tell you about coming on my TV? The show doesn't shy away from exploring feelings of jealousy, frustration, disappointment, and in many cases, even sadness. These emotions are treated with sensitivity, respect, nuance, which allows children to understand them while also offering adults a gentle reminder of how to handle their own emotions. All of these emotions are used to explore the subject and message of the episode too. Take the episode Bike, for example.
It's not fair. Why can't I just do it straight away?
An episode all about frustration. Not only frustration, but also determination, patience, and focus.
Look at the focus.
I'd like to get down now.
But if you're looking for Bluey's pinnacle of emotional intelligence, you need look no further than an episode from season 1 called Sleepytime.
This episode of Bluey is called Sleepytime.
In Sleepytime, Bluey's sister Bingo wants to sleep like a big girl and wake up in her own bed. But the episode follows Bingo in her dream as she experiences a deeply emotional moment that reflects her internal world. The episode is a magical experience to behold, but it's also incredibly profound, addressing the anxiety that comes with growing up and the need for comfort and security whilst balancing the metaphors of the dream world with a few laughs happening in the real world.
Oh, Bluey.
Can I have a drink of water?
There are some beautiful moments in this episode, but there is one moment that transcends the context of its episode. Bingo is left alone as she says goodbye to her little toy Floppy, when suddenly
I have to go. I'm a big girl now.
Remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me, because I love you.
this one line resonates so deeply with us as adults because it's not talking about going to school without your parents or something like that. Instead, it means something far deeper. To know that one day we will be without our parents. That's the natural order. But to know that they're never really gone, so long as we keep them here. There's a real comfort in that. This episode, like many others in Bluey, explores themes that we as adults oftentimes completely forget about too. That it's okay to feel vulnerable, to be vulnerable, and to take time to just explore your emotions, to process your emotions. And whilst watching Sleepytime, you probably noticed something glaringly obvious that influenced exactly how you felt watching that scene. Stunning animation and soundtrack are the icing on the cake for Bluey. The simple and striking animation style is so soft on the eyes, but the design is so vibrant and rich that it captures the beauty of everyday life, and also really makes me want to go to Australia, but I couldn't really put my finger on why.
Is this Australia?
Yeah, mate. This is Australia.
I would kiss Joff Bush. It complements the tone of each episode individually, enhancing both the whimsical and tender moments of the show. This attention to detail in both animation and sound creates an immersive experience that adults can enjoy just as much as children. Speaking of enjoying moments as much as children, this chapter of the video is called Playtime. We as adults spend a lot of time just being adults, and we forget what it means to just completely let go of reality and just make believe. Wow. For children, imagination is an essential part of their social and mental development. Imagination and creative play is how we learn to explore the world, learn social dynamics, and work through emotions.
You'll notice that I just slipped in relevant clips to Bluey there, but you probably associated those with memories of your own.
Bluey does a brilliant job of showing the value of imaginative play, both for kids and for adults, going as far as to de-childrenize play for the sake of embarrassment and as a means to cut loose and enjoy life.
Forget about being an adult for 5 minutes and indulge instead in those 3 little letters.
The games in the show aren't just random activities, they're reflections of real-life dynamics and provide a lens for adults to better understand the nuance of childlike thinking, whilst doubling as a lesson for children in sharing and playing fair.
You always never take turns with me. You just take all of the turns. And it makes me feel sad.
The best thing about Bluey in this respect is how it invites parents to take on their kids' perspective. Take, for example, the episode Pirates.
An episode that feels centered around promoting bravery in Missy, who finds herself the only one capable of saving Bluey and Bingo from a terrifying sea monster, but also shows Bandit to be afraid of partaking in the game because he looks silly in front of other parents.
Mum, why isn't Dad making a whale noise?
Could it be? This majestic blue whale is embarrassed to be making funny noises in front of another daddy whale?
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It takes Chili and the kids' encouragement for him to let go of his adult self for a moment and just lose himself in the game, immersing the young Missy enough to encourage her to save the day. This message of bravery transcends itself to apply to both kids and their parents.
Big blue whale swam off to find his blue whale wife, who loved him that little bit more now.
And even non-parents.
This actually happens in quite a few different episodes of Bluey. It's a show that understands how difficult it is for adults to just cut loose and let go and have fun, but it still encourages adults to do that. For the kids.
So much of Bluey reminds us of the importance of maintaining joy, spontaneity, and fun in adult life for our relationships, but also for the sake of our own sanity too. And it's all achievable by just letting yourself be a kid again.
Something Grandpa Mort knows all about. Life can be incredibly serious at times, but for huge swaths it should just be as serious as we make it. Bluey loves to be a show for everyone, which reminds me,
this chapter of the video is called One for You, One for Me. Bluey is undoubtedly a kid's show. I'm sure I've said that already, but just in case you forgot, it is.
That being said, it's packed with sort of life lessons for adults too, things that we probably don't realize that we'd forgotten and just needed that little bit of reminding of.
The narratives are not just about Bluey learning to be a good friend, share, navigate social situations. They're also there to explore themes like conflict resolution, self-worth, emotional intelligence, and dealing with disappointment.
Something that other shows are afraid of doing. You know, like Peppa Pig. I don't know if you've realized this yet in the video, but I have a special kind of hatred for Peppa Pig. Not just because I've had to watch it to death, but because every lesson in Peppa Pig is like an anti-lesson for kids. No conflict can be had at the behest of Peppa Pig. You must bend the knee to the pork child. minor exaggeration, I think.
Bluey is full of conflict and conflict resolution. Magic xylophone, daddy robot, spy game, butterflies, shops, mums and dads, library, muffin cone, postman. All these episodes and so many more have such a simple premise, but it highlights how easy it is for us to get lost in petty disagreements, especially with an episode like Postman.
Bin bags are a pain.
You're a pain.
Oh, crap.
Stop squabbling, I don't like it.
We're not squabbling, kiddo. We're just talking.
For adults, this resonates deeply. It's a reminder that despite us being the age we are, we're all still growing. We're all still learning every day, and every day we're tasked with overcoming challenges, and we should celebrate those victories more. This chapter of the video is called The Ending. Bluey isn't just a children's show. It's a rich, multifaceted series that offers a real insight into life, family, and emotional growth.
I told you near the beginning of the video that I raised a little boy until he was nearly 2. That's true, I did. Taught him to walk. Damn near taught him to talk, play, introduced him to my family, my friends. Not knowing all the while that what the mother was keeping from me, even though she told me and shown me different, was that that kid was never mine. And she was okay lying to me about that for nearly 2 years because it gave her what she wanted, a family. Even if it was not for real life. I mean, that relationship ended for some different reasons, believe it or not, but that was one of them. You know, despite that, there is a silver lining, and that silver lining is that when the time comes, I'll be ready. And I know that I'll do a good job. And watching a show like Bluey has done nothing but make me excited for my future. I was a good dad.
Complex characters, relatable parent-like dynamics, humor, subtle life lessons, it all makes Bluey a deeply enriching experience for us adults. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, Bluey has something for you.
Flowers may bloom again, but a person never has a chance to be young again.
What does that mean?